This is Recovery Lifestyles with Carmel. Recovery Lifestyles is committed to raising awareness and ending stigmas surrounding addiction and mental health. On today's show, I'll be speaking with Damien, the founder of an online recovery app called Pocket Rehab. Pocket Rehab is a place for people struggling with addiction and mental illness. Users of the app are provided with a safe, secure, and non-judgmental environment to interact with others while retaining complete anonymity. Pocket Rehab was also recently named one of the top 50 healthcare companies.
Hey, Damien, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm awesome. So thanks for coming on and chatting with me today. And this is the second time we'll be doing this, which is pretty cool because you're one of the chosen, just kidding, one of the chosen men. Actually, I think you were the very first man that I invited into this space, actually, now that I think about it.
Well, thank you. And thank you for having me back. I appreciate that.
So did you want to just share a little bit with the audience who you are and what it is you do?
Yeah, so my name is Damien, and I'm the founder of Pocket Rehab. And basically, I struggled with an addiction. It continued. I was lucky enough to go to treatment, but it continued when I came out of treatment to struggle. And I was shocked, I guess, by the stigma and the shame that came along with it, because, I just felt like I was a person that needed help, not a bad person, I guess you could say. So due to lack of support for someone like myself, and I did go to the step meetings, the 12-step meetings, but I felt like there was something needed beyond that. So I've been in recovery since August 10th of 2012, and basically have now dedicated my life to helping as many people as possible. And that's how Pocket Rehab was born. And basically what Pocket Rehab is a 24/7 real-time tool that helps people support and prevent relapse. So we have about 85,000 members that have come through the app. And it's a safe, secure Android, iOS mobile application. And there's a community we have implemented since we last spoke, a whole bunch of new features now.
Mm-hmm.
And, we've been growing fairly rapidly, organically, and just kind of trying to keep up. And we're out there trying to grow.
So, I think what I really like about the app is I think back to when I was getting sober, 17 years ago, and we didn't have this kind of technology. And there were a lot of nights that, the meeting's over and it's midnight and I can't go to sleep and things are, piling up on me and the anxiety is coming on and there was nothing and, like an app to go and chat with somebody on. So I think that's really cool. So as the app evolves, what are you finding? Like what are the, aspects of the app that you're finding that are really important to the user?
It's definitely, I guess, still and always has been the lifeline feature, which is the 24/7 support. So you can come in, use text message, voice, or video chat, and reach out, and whoever is available for helping you will answer your call. That's still the most used feature. And in like what you said, if you're laying at home in bed, even if you go to meetings, if you don't, whatever the case may be, it's hugely beneficial, because within about a minute you're connected to somebody else, and that could be life or death, or relapse prevention. So it's definitely the best. And since we spoke last, we implemented a group chat. So users can either start their own chat, or with the community, or with their friends in the app. And we've seen great success with that. We have up to 20 people in each group. And we actually started with 10, and the users asked to increase to 20. And there's just so many different groups. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of groups that you could join.
That is so cool. Yeah, you're kind of having your own little 12-step meeting in a sense on your own.
It's constantly going and it never stops, which is nice. And like not to knock the program, anything like that, because I did it, and it helped. But there were times when my sponsor wouldn't answer. There were times when people on the call list, every single one of them wouldn't. And you can't expect them to. I mean, people, we're all on, I'm in New Jersey, so we're all on the East Coast. We all, for the most part, go to sleep at a certain time, wake up at a certain time, go to work. And so, you need another tool or outlet where if you need that immediate help, and especially at work, most of our users, we actually see them using it while they're at work between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. There's most of the traffic, which is kind of remarkable, I guess you could say, because when you're at work, you can't just be like, excuse me, I'm going to go to a 12-step meeting. I'll be back in about an hour and a half. So, they can, whether it's okay or not, they can still text at their desk or wherever they are on the run. Well, hopefully not driving, but you can use it wherever you are. So it's hugely beneficial.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I would think that it could get a little dysfunctional because us as addicts, we kind of tend to be a bit dysfunctional. So how do you monitor the entire program? Like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's well, knock on wood. I mean, we haven't had crazy issues to date. Now that I said that out loud, it's probably going to be a real thing.
No.
Just put it out there. But so we have recovery coaches in the app, which I'm not sure that might be new too since we spoke. And the recovery coaches help monitor and help guide conversations when necessary. There's a bunch of us that go through and just make sure everything is, kept on a certain, I guess, bandwidth or whatever you want to call it. And we have secret shoppers. So there's a few of us that'll just pop in and out of chats just to make sure that, we're staying within the guidelines. And actually, it is funny you said that though, because I did have to implement community guidelines.
Okay.
Just where people, just have to accept it, just click accept. I mean, understanding that they read it and everything like that.
I think last time I was on the app a couple days ago. No, maybe it was a couple of weeks ago when I accepted it.
Oh, weeks ago. Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
when I accepted the.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I mean, so it's been okay, and the users also help monitor it themselves because, if something inappropriate pops up, you can report that. And just like last time, we don't allow photos in the app, so we avoid all that nonsense as well.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a big thing I find is that now that, we're evolving, the recovery community is evolving and we're online and we're in all these places. Sometimes we're attaching our worth to these photos and that can create a big disaster as well.
Oh, I totally agree. We had a huge debate about adding a like feature when we first started because if people don't like my post, and I was just like, you know what though, but it saves it. You can go back and read it. And if somebody has, hey, I just have 24 hours clean and sober, it's huge support to them to see that people are acknowledging it, I think. So it has its benefits and, there's also the negative aspect, I suppose, to it. It's 2019, the world that we live in, everything gets a like.
Well, it's interesting because here in Canada, I don't know if I should actually get you to go on my profile and see if you can see, but here in Canada, currently, we're not allowed to see how many people like our posts. And
really?
the other users are not allowed. So you actually can't even keep track right now, which in some ways takes a lot of stress off as a business owner, right? Because unfortunately, that is the way the world works. And if you're going to stay relevant, people need to be liking your posts. But it was weird that only in Canada. So I'm gonna have to remember to get you to go take a look. Or do you have your phone on you right now?
I do, yeah.
Maybe you can check it out. Does it share? Like, since you're in the United States, can you see how many people have liked my post?
Yeah.
Anyway, we can always do that later.
No, but I think that's really interesting because it has benefits and then there's also the negative. So am I getting any feedback at all?
Yeah.
For a business, I mean, because I have the Pocket Rehab accounts and thank God those are the only ones I don't really use personal ones because I don't know, not for me, but you want to know that there's some sort of an engagement, I guess, that people are, looking and still you feel like relevant, I guess, as a
Well, for
business.
sure. And I think the algorithm, the way it works as well, goes on who's commenting, who's liking. And so if you don't know, how do you know if anyone's even seeing your posts? So it was a little frustrating at first, and I'm hoping maybe they'll implement it back where we can see again. But currently I
Yeah.
can't see any of that information. It's really crazy. So I'm going to like turn it in a little bit to make it personal. How are you doing? Where are you? Like, how long have you been sober now?
Oh gosh, August, September, October. So I guess 7 years and 2 months and like 20, what is it, the 29th? Like 29 days?
Awesome.
Something like that. Yeah, close. Maybe 19 days. My math is horrible. But yeah, no, I mean, it's weird. After, I guess, the first few years, it's just like, oh, another year. Oh, another year.
Yeah.
And it just kind of comes really quickly. I guess that's also coming with age. The older I get, it seems like the years just go faster. But yeah, I mean, I guess since you would consider it long-term sobriety now,
Mm-hmm.
it just feels like normal.
Yeah.
I guess I just lived this way so long, it's just the way it is.
Well, and I think you're quite immersed in the community, and this is your purpose in life, right? Is helping other people. So you're not straying off too far from your own recovery. Or do you find that it can get a little bit complicated when you're always helping other people? Or do you have a support system for yourself?
I mean, I do. Well, I mean, I still use the app myself, but
okay.
talking to people daily, I'm definitely still like, right there every single day in the recovery community, which is, I mean, it's helped me tremendously. But, talking to people and hearing a lot of the sad stories and stuff, it can weigh on you a bit. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Just, I guess, like a therapist maybe, or it might be a little extreme, but a first responder, how when they see something all the time, it could really weigh heavy on them as much as they go through that and they try to compartmentalize it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really try to not compartmentalize it and talk, and even if it's to my wife or somebody, just about, hey, I've seen a lot of negative stuff recently, like, so I just need to get it out maybe, or just talk about how sad, I don't know, whatever it might be. Just talking is literally the best medicine, at least for myself with recovery. Exercise definitely a really close second, but I think talking is just like, if you compartmentalize it, it's going to come out in a really unhealthy way.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's not good.
Yeah, and so I heard you say a lot in the past that or I don't know if you do anymore, so you do not attend any type of 12-step meeting at this point? That's not something?
I mean, I went to one about a week and a half ago, so it's not an everyday thing. I mean, I know people that are multiple years, like almost 10 years in recovery, and they go to 3, 4, 5 meetings a day sometimes. So I think it might just depend on where you are in your recovery. I mean, I did extensive therapy, you know what I mean? That helped a lot too. That was beneficial, but it's kind of the same thing. You talk to somebody, and what people do in the app, I think that's a little bit more beneficial, is when you sit through a meeting, maybe you're listening to a speaker or you're talking about a step, right? With the app, you're getting out what's on your chest, which a lot of people either won't do because they're afraid,
Mm-hmm.
or you're on a timer. Like the meeting I was at, they literally set a timer on their phone, and that's it. I've talked to people for 2 hours in the app, but in a meeting you only get 3 or 4 minutes. So, and it's one-sided because people don't question or respond to you. So, I mean, there's a million, well, not a million, but there's a whole bunch of different ways for recovery, and not, people don't all recover the same. But I think implementing a whole bunch along the way and having a lot of tools in your toolbox
Mm-hmm.
is, what's going to make you successful. And go to the meeting, open the app later, or open the app before and find the meeting, and then, come back and talk later. It's just really, especially in the beginning, I had to immerse myself even more so. So the more you do, the better.
Yeah, I think that's what I really like about your app is that you can go and just say what's on your mind, and it's anonymous. Because I can remember sitting in the meetings and having quite severe social anxiety, which I didn't even understand that's what I was experiencing, and hoping that nobody would ask me to speak, but at the same time really wanting to get out what I needed to say, right?
Yeah.
And then when I'd be asked to speak, I'd be either pre-rehearsing in my head because I didn't want to sound stupid. And so I think that, you know, having an option like the app is huge, because you can just go say what you want to say, which, yeah. So as we're starting to wrap up, I wanted to ask you, you just received a big award for your app. Share with us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we got to go out to Vegas, IFAH, yeah.
Sober
nice.
Vegas!
Yeah, that part is a little weird. I've actually gone to 3 different conventions in Vegas for recovery, or, you know, this space, and it's always like Vegas. You know, that's where you guys pick to go. But
yeah,
it was the International Forum of Advancements in Healthcare, and they gave us a Top 50 Healthcare Award, which was awesome. I mean, just to be acknowledged was great. And, you know, you don't feel like you're deserving because we're not a huge company, but I guess we've touched a lot of people, like, you know, over 8,000 a month, which is nice. So it's definitely rewarding and it feels nice, but, you know, I guess I don't take enough time to really appreciate that because we just keep going and going.
Yeah. Well, and as you're growing, do you plan on bringing more people in, or is that something that's happening right now? Because it feels like that's a lot for you to operate on your own.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a team of advisors. There's a couple people that help me with that, and one other gentleman, Tommy, that's been helping a lot on like the front lines, I guess you could say, with the company. So it's nice. We're trying to get an investment so we can build like a real company, and have a home base and, you know, kind of people for every different department. So it becomes like I'm not doing everything for the company because that's, you know, just overwhelming and just too much.
Yeah.
After a while when you keep growing. So yeah, no, totally hoping on that, hoping to raise some money to do that and continue to grow. That way we can go faster as well.
Well, and we'll just put it out there, you know, maybe somebody listening to this will hear your message and want to invest.
Yeah, guys, that would be great. Donations are also greatly appreciated.
For sure. So again, as we start to wrap up, is there anything that's on your heart that you would really like to share?
I guess, yeah. So I didn't really talk about it much. So the platform isn't just for people that are directly struggling. It's also for the family members and the loved ones and friends of those, because they might not realize it because they're so involved in getting their, you know, son, daughter, you know, mother, husband, whatever, help. And they don't realize that they need help just as much. So this platform is perfect for them as well. In fact, we have a lot of people on there that are, you know, the loved ones and friends of. So you can come. We're implementing right now a place you can go find all the different treatment centers locally to you, meetings, whatever you need really for resources, we're implementing right now. So yeah, please, if you know you can hear it and you need the help, no matter which side you're on, we are here for you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's free, totally free, by the way, so don't worry about that.
Okay, and so how do people find you?
You can go to the website, www.getpocketrehab.com. We're all over social media too. And you can just go to the iOS or the Android App Store and search for Pocket Rehab.
Awesome. And I'll also have your link underneath this video so people can easily access it. So
wonderful.
Damien, thank you so much again for coming on and chatting with me today.
Well, and thank you for having me back.
Yeah. And I love everything you're doing. And, you know, I can just see the growth, and it's really exciting what you've created. So thank you.